If you want the quickest way to change your life this year, you have to master this one skill. You just gotta do it scared. How do I know? I did it for myself, and it catapulted the trajectory of my life, my finances, for me to be in a point where I had the power to jump into real estate later years down the line. This is the art of sales, of selling. Learning how to sell took me from making a $12 an hour a day job, barely making $25,000 a year, to over $100,000 in total compensation in just under 1 year. And you might think, ugh, I hate selling. I don't want to sell. I can't sell anybody anything. It's cringy. You've been selling your whole life. Think about it. As a child, you are constantly negotiating to get the candy that you want or eating your ice cream before your meal. As we're teenagers, the way we move through high school hallways and how we present ourselves, that is all selling to be able to present yourself in a manner that you believe is desirable to the general audience or public. And now I know you've been on an interview. You are selling yourself, your skills, that you are capable and well equipped to be able to do the job that you're interviewing for. So you've been building this foundational skill of selling throughout your whole life. Why not monetize it? I mean, let's make some good money so that we can shift these funds into investments that make sense for us in the long run. And listen, you don't have to take on a sales role forever. Only doing sales for about 4 or so years was enough for me to build a savings account over $100,000, to build my investment account close to $80,000, $90,000, and have the availability or the access to jump into real estate investing when the time was right. So when I say sales, it's not just about convincing somebody to buy something. No, I've been through all levels of sales. And when I started in my 20s, it was the hardcore sales, hitting the pavement, going door to door, selling telecommunication services. I hated it. But I had enough of a story, enough of a sales or success point that I was able to leverage that to get a better sales job. And while I was looking for this new sales job, I actually got a job at a nonprofit helping to take care of like residential care kids. Let me tell you, those kids were tough, okay? At the age of like 10, 11, 12, they've been through enough trauma that literally 10 people in the room can even experience. But it was a means to an end, and I actually did enjoy the impact that I was able to get through on at least some of the kids. So I kind of created a plan on what kind of sales job I wanted. I didn't want any kind of sales job. I had come across pharmaceutical sales and I was like, oh, this sounds fancy. That's the top echelon. Give me one of those. But they don't just take anybody, and it's not that easy to get into that industry. But I was like, I can get into it, and I did. But here's the thing. It took a very intentional, strategic approach for me to be able to get there. And this was back in the day where I was like, broke. Okay. And I remember before my ride came to like pick me up for work, I would have to walk like over a mile to like the closest McDonald's near where we lived so that I could use their Wi-Fi and apply to pharmaceutical sales jobs. I remember just like my whole mindset was, I'm transitioning into this job, therefore I'm going to play the role. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just was living in Delulu land, and it Lulu worked, okay? I would like dress up professionally, and I'd go to this job at the nonprofit with the kids, and you know, these kids will drag you for filth. Like, why are you dressed like that? But they didn't know. They didn't know until the time came when I scooted out of there, scoot. But no, what I'm trying to say is, when you have a goal and you have a vision in attaining a job that will give you the funds to be able to stash cash, to be able to build your cash reserves, to be able to have funds and start investing so that you can be in a position to invest in real estate sooner rather than later, you want to look at sales roles. You want to be intentional about your strategy to get into that role. And I didn't want a sales job in just any pharmaceutical company. I was like, I'm only going to work with these top companies, even though I have no idea how to get in. So here's what I do. After work, I would go to, because through my research, I found out that these reps would be at certain hospitals and they look a certain way, and I was all decked out. So I'd go to these locations and I'd go and speak to reps, and most of them were not nice, but I just constantly kept doing that, trying to build relationships, trying to understand the industry a bit more. Even before I got the job, here I am already selling. So do not sleep on the art of selling. And the beauty about selling too is you utilize what you already have, your personality. Whether you are more on the quiet side, whether you're more on, a bit of a energy pump, it doesn't matter. What matters is finding an ability to connect with somebody and build enough of a relationship that somebody's willing to hear you out. Somebody's willing to see if what you have solves a need or a problem for them. So through all of the hustle, I actually first landed a contract role in pharmaceutical sales with a company that used to contract for Pfizer. And I was like, oh, that's all you need. That's all I needed. Give me a little crack on the door. Let me get my one toe in there. Next thing you know, all the fingerlings are in there. And that's exactly what happened. I was so grateful to have met a manager in that role who saw the desire in me to, get a full-time role. Kind of like, this is the early stages of my career. So he was like, I see it. I hear it. I see it in your work ethic. I'm going to help you. Shout out, Steve. And this was a mentor who prepared me and basically advised me into landing a full-time role in pharmaceutical sales. So once I got into the industry, I realized one of the greatest pain points for sellers was getting in front of the decision makers, the doctors, to have a meeting, educate them about the product list that they're carrying, the medicines they're carrying, and how it could help patients. And, I have already been out here playing a role, finding ways to meet people and connect with every and anybody. And that is the advantage I had. I just leveraged that skill to build relationships with everybody at the office, even down to the individual that was cleaning the office. Because guess what? That is how I got in front of one of the hardest to see doctors, when the individual that was cleaning the office space was somehow connected or related to the doctor. And for him to have heard me out and individually introduced me to the doctor on like an after work day or something, chef's kisses. So selling is a skill of building relationships. Selling is a skill of understanding the needs of others. Like, everybody wants to feel human. Everybody wants to feel respected. Everybody wants to feel that the other hears them or the other acknowledges them. And that's exactly what I did to build these quality relationships and help drive sales. So eventually, with the help of Steve, shout out to great managers out there, okay? I was able to land a full-time role. And here I am in my early to mid 20s. Yeah. And here I am in my mid 20s with a total compensation that is over $100,000. Company car, company credit, the times where I gotta stay at the Marriotts of the world around town to get projects done, to meet clients. I was on it. But I always knew deep down that I desired for more, that there was something bigger and greater for me. There was impact that I needed to be intentional to follow and to pursue. So it wasn't long that I was like, let me do something. Maybe I should go to grad school or pursue higher education and get an opportunity to tap into my entrepreneurial interests and things like that. And that's kind of how I fell into business school. Well, strategically planned, but bloop, I ended up there. But let me tell you, I really wish I had someone who had prepared me for the corporate world, because honestly, I'm just going to say it. As a Black woman in corporate America, it sucks. Okay. And I was not prepared for that. And as a matter of fact, Steve from that contracting gig, he made it so easy because he was just focused on the work I was doing. There was no corporate politics or microaggressions or anything like that. We were a small team. Most of them had been working with Steve for many, many years. I was a new girl on the block. Everybody was just like, yeah, you can do it. So I think it really depends on the organization and the team that you're in. I genuinely believe that. Because there's no way that, for instance, I will have calls or chats with my girlfriends who are also Black in different organizations, as in my organization or the organization has no affiliation, but yet we're experiencing such similar things. That always just like how? So anyways, one thing that God will give me is discernment, okay? And so I just prepared myself to go to business school. And it's funny because it was almost like I saw the writing on the wall when it comes to our whole organization being wiped out. Like there was a massive layoff that happened. But the funny thing is, a couple of years prior, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, or more so just the passion to pursue and move forward, that I prepared myself to go to business school. And the day came when the layoffs happened. I already received my acceptances. I knew where I was going. And, you're getting the calls from the managers and they're just like, in distress, and they're telling you you're being laid off. And I was just like, okay. And I think he expected me to be just like devastated and all that stuff. And I'm like, this was never my place anyways. So I'm grateful. Thanks for the lessons. Yeah. And you know what's funny? I remember having a final meeting with this manager and this team that I had been on. And it was just like this discussion on him asking his team what they were going to do. Like one lady was pregnant and she was like, I'm just going to take some time and stay home. Or the other one was like, I've already started getting interviews. And he's just like asking around, and it gets to me. And I was like, I'm going to school. And he just thought like, maybe I'm just going to some side school or something. No, baby. Okay, I'm getting my MBA from Cornell. And when I told this man this, you should see his face. You know when someone doesn't believe that you're capable of something great, And they're just shooketh. They're just shaking. And then they're like, and he was like, oh, really? Oh, the satisfaction, just the joy in my brain. Honestly, I was just happy for the fact that, like, Lord, I don't gotta deal with y'all no more. But just knowing that, like, I will be good. I will be absolutely good. And the realization that, like, oh, she's gonna be good. Don't let anybody define who you are. Don't let anyone put a cap on what you're capable of. Don't let anyone measure you based on what they think you are worthy of. So in just those 4 or so short years, I was able to grow my savings account, utilizing a high yield savings account. Check out that video if you haven't, to over $100,000. I was able to invest in ETFs, and I can do actually a video about that if you're interested, on how to invest in ETFs, how to start out, because that was such a game changer for me to grow my account. And also how I was able to be so focused and dedicated to be able to save that amount of money consistently when I didn't have the foundation or even the know-how to be able to do it. So let me know what you would like to know more about so that I can create some videos for you. And that was really the core foundation that prepped me, that propelled me, that when I was in a position to jump into real estate investing, I was able to get a lender to give me access to $1 million. That is the lending power I had to be able to buy a home or buy homes and jump into real estate investing. It was the ability to sell, the ability to identify a need. It was the ability to build a relationship and utilize my solutions to be able to solve a problem. Oh, and don't forget to join our growing family by subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.